Today we will continue to use the distributive property to multiply, and then combine the like terms to simplify the expressions. So let's get started. In the last unit we discussed order of operations, or PEMDAS. We are still following these rules when we simplify these expressions. So in this example we do have a parentheses, and when we follow PEMDAS we do things in the parentheses first. But there's nothing else we can do here without knowing the value for x. So this expression, 2x minus 4, is simplified. The next thing we do is exponents. We don't have any exponents. And then the next step is to do multiplication and division from left to right. So our first step here would be to multiply 5 times the quantity 2x minus 4. We'll use the distributive property. Multiply 5 times 2x, and then 5 times 4. So we have x plus 5 times 2x is 10x. I will bring down this subtraction sign, but you can also do this as plus a negative 4. And then 5 times 4 is 20. And now we have to combine like terms. X and 10x have the same variable raised to the same power. They are like terms. So that is 11x minus 20. With the second problem, again, we will do any operations within the parentheses first. We cannot combine 7 minus 5y. There's nothing we can do with these operations. We have no exponents. The next step is to multiply and divide from left to right. And here we are multiplying by negative 1. So this is like plus negative 1 times 7 minus 5y. So we're multiplying everything by negative 1. So that is 8y minus 9. Negative 1 times 7 is negative 7. And then negative 1 times negative 5y is plus 5y. Again, when we multiply by a negative, we will end up changing the sign of everything within that parentheses. We've completed multiplication. There's no division. So now we'll add and subtract. We do this by combining like terms. So 8y plus 5y is 13y. Negative 9 minus 7 is minus 16, or negative 16. So our answer is 13y minus 16. So once again, we're going to continue following PEMDAS. We cannot simplify any of these expressions within the parentheses. Now, if we had a value for a, we could plug it in and actually perform the operation. But we do not have a value for a, so we cannot further simplify a minus 4. Same with a plus 3. The next step in PEMDAS is exponents. We do not have any exponents in this particular case. And then we move on to multiplication and division. So first we will multiply negative 5 times the quantity a minus 4. And then we'll multiply negative 2 times the quantity a plus 3. So the first step is we're going to multiply by negative 5. So that's negative 5a. I'm going to bring down the subtraction sign. And then we have negative 5 times 4. Now for this, I'll go ahead and change this to plus negative 2 times a plus 3. So here we are multiplying by negative 2 to both of these terms within the parentheses. So plus, now we have negative 2a plus negative 2 times 3. We'll do the multiplication. This is still negative 5a. Now we have minus negative 20. This is minus 2a. and this is minus 6. So subtraction of a negative is addition, so this becomes negative 5a plus 20 minus 2a minus 6. Now we'll combine like terms. So we have a to the first power twice. So negative 5a minus 2a is negative 7a. And then 20 minus 6 is 14. So we end up with negative 7a plus 14. And then in this final problem, we're going to multiply 9 to the expression b plus 3, to the two terms within there. That's going to give us 9b plus 27. And then negative 4 times 5b and negative 4 times 6. So negative 4 times 5, that's negative 20b. Then negative 4 times 6, that's negative 24. So in this last problem, I did combine a few steps into one when I multiplied negative 4 times the quantity 5b plus 6. Again, I viewed this as a negative 4, so negative 4 times 5, that's negative 20b. And then negative 4 times 6 is negative 24. This is the same thing I did in this third problem, where we took negative 2 times a. We end up with negative 2a. And then negative 2 times 3, ending up with negative 6. I just condensed it, did it in less steps. Either method is correct. Now we'll combine like terms. 9b minus 20b, that's negative 11b. And then 27 minus 24, that's going to give us positive or plus 3. And our answer is negative 11b plus 3. A great way to learn is to practice on your own. We will discuss in a bit, but go ahead and pause your screen and do these 4 problems. Again, the first step is to multiply. Multiply using the distributive property. We'll distribute this negative 2 to both terms. So negative 2 times 3 is negative 6x. Negative 2 times negative 5 is positive 10. And then we combine our like terms, ending up with negative 2x plus 10. Again, for the second problem, we will multiply first. So we're going to multiply the negative 2 times the quantity 10y minus 12. Negative 2 times 10y is negative 20y. Negative 2 times negative 12 will give us positive 24. And then we will combine our like terms. Negative 20y plus 8y is negative 12y. And 9 plus 24 is 33, giving us negative 12y plus 33. Again, we will multiply from left to right first. So we're going to multiply 6 times the quantity 4 minus 2x. It's going to give us 24 minus 12x. And then we will multiply 5 times the quantity 2x minus 4. And that gives us 10x minus 20. Now the next step is to add and subtract by combining like terms. So 24 minus 20, well that's 4. And then negative 12x plus 10x is negative 2x. And then finally, throwing in some fractions. So we're going to multiply negative 1/3 times the quantity 6 plus 5x. Again, using the distributive property, we end up with negative 2 minus 5/3 x. And then we'll multiply 2 times the quantity 2x plus 3. That gives us 4x plus 6. So negative 2 plus 6, that's going to give us 4. And then in order to add negative 5/3 x plus 4x, the first step is finding that common denominator. So the common denominator between 5/3 and 4 will be 3. We have equivalent terms here, so 4x is the same thing as 12/3 x. Those mean the exact same thing. But we now have a common denominator. 12 minus 5, or negative 5 plus 12, is going to give us 7. Keep the common denominator, so 7/3 x plus 4. Continue practicing simplifying algebraic expressions, and I'll see you in the next video.